Our products are organically sourced natural healthy foods from Nigeria, West Africa, sourced directly from the small local farmers. At Naturalike, we believe what you put in your body and on your body can dramatically impact your health and well-being. Boost your energy levels and satisfy your cravings with a healthy dose of natural sweetness from our products. We're excited to help lead African foods and products into the global health and wellness markets. Follow us on Instagram at Naturalike, on Facebook at Naturalike LLC, and YouTube at Naturalike TV. These organically sourced foods are available at our Amazon store, amazon.com/Naturalike. Email us at naturalikeproducts@gmail.com.
Nigeria go survive. I say if them drink the oil, no matter how them try, Nigeria go survive. I roots them strong for ground, ancestors no go gree, Nigeria go survive. The God of thunder and lightning, unite and shield Nigeria. Nigeria go survive. Nigeria go survive. Africa go survive. My people go survive. Oh, Nigeria go survive. Nigeria go survive. Africa go survive. My people go survive. Oh, Nigeria go survive. Andrew, don't check out, oh.
Say what?
Stay and build your country. Nigeria go survive. Now who go die for you, oh? God is thicker than water. Nigeria go survive. If Andrew doing work, oh, and me I do my own, oh, Nigeria go survive. If my leaders do them best, oh, Andrew go stay to help, oh, Nigeria go survive. Nigeria go survive. Africa go survive. My people go survive, oh, Nigeria go survive. Nigeria go survive. Africa go survive. My people go survive, oh, Nigeria go survive. Nigeria go survive. Africa go survive. My people go survive, oh, Nigeria go survive. Nigeria go survive. Africa go survive. My people Nigeria can survive. Palm oil is there for East Coast. Timber there for Sapele, Nigeria can survive. Granite there for Nogo. Rice there for Benue, Nigeria can survive. Hide and skinny there, cotton there for Nogo, Nigeria can survive. Nigeria can survive. Africa can survive. My people can survive. Oh, Nigeria can survive. Nigeria can survive. Africa can survive. My people can survive. Oh, Nigeria can survive. Nigeria can survive. Africa can survive. My people can survive. Oh, Nigeria can survive. Nigeria can survive. Africa can survive. My people can survive. Oh, Nigeria can survive. Nigeria can survive. Africa can survive.
I love my country, I no go lie. Now inside them I go live and die. I know my country, I no go lie. Now him and me go yap till I die. Ah! I want begin with history. That war we fight in recent memory. Where music way come from barrel of gun was Asian one. Me, I think I get cancer for me eye. That's the reason why. Cause when I look, una too I see. Make I explain it, I think you go giddy. I love my country, I no go lie. Now inside them I go live and die. When it on me so, I twist and so. It push me, I push him, I no go. Make you no worry, both nations be friends. Even when they fight, they soon make amends. When one back they itch, the other go scratch. When one lay egg, the other go hatch. Eggs na eggs, but some are rotten. But make I tell you, some are golden. I tell you my country, no.
Okay, we are live. We are live. Dynasty Mirror Search for Whom. I just had to play some music to get the morale up because yesterday we had a bunch of negative, pessimistic Nigerians. But before we get into the show, before we get into today's topic, have a couple of announcements. Let's jump into these announcements. Announcement number one, we are rolling to Nigeria. We are rolling to Nigeria. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. We are rolling to Nigeria August 4th through the 13th. August 4th through the 13th. We are rolling to Nigeria. Larry says, you know what? I used to hear on the radio in Nigeria back in the 80s. Shalimar Chick, Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie, King Sunny Ade, Ebenezer Obey, Marvin Gaye, and Fela. So we are rolling to the Oshun Festival, August 4th through the 13th. August 4th through the 13th, we are rolling to Nigeria. If you want to join us for the Oshun Festival, hit me up. Visit donfo.africa. We have 3 spots remaining. And we are rolling to Zanzibar, September 22nd through October 1st, September 22nd through October 1st. Let me check one thing real quick. For Zanzibar, we have, how many spots do we have left? Let me check. I'm going to check right now. I want to say just 2. Let's see here. We have 3 spots. We have 3 spots remaining for Zanzibar. No, actually, we have to. Guys, I'm getting my math wrong. No, we have 3 spots for Zanzibar. We have 3 spots remaining for Zanzibar. So if you want to join us in Zanzibar, Safari Blue, y'all. Safari. No, I'm wrong. Guys, get your math right. We have 2 spots remaining for Zanzibar. 2 spots. I might round it up to 3, but right now, as of right now, we have 2 spots left for Zanzibar. So we would love to have you. And I want to thank all of you for the support over the years. It really means a lot. And when you guys go to the site, there's going to be a pop-up, right? So you could join the mailing list. And they're shocked sometimes when they hear me on the other end of the phone, because I'm personal. So when you take time out of your day to go to donfo.africa and enter your phone, your email, your information, your phone number, expect a phone call from me. I called a lady today and she's like, "Oh my God, I wasn't expecting a phone call from you." I said, "Why? Why weren't you? Why weren't you expecting a phone call from me? Why were you not expecting a phone call from me?" When you guys take time out of your day and you go to the website and you enter your information so you can join the mailing list, expect a phone call. I'm going to call you personally. I know I'm behind though, because I wasn't necessarily I didn't implement this in the past, but it's being implemented now. All right. So go to donfo.africa, enter your information, and I'm going to call you personally. All right. Okay. So Zanzibar, September 22nd through October 1st, we have 2 spots left. And Nigeria, August 4th to the 13th, we have 3 spots left. Let's jump into today's topic. Why are some, not all? All right, let me be clear. Not all, because I know some patriotic Nigerians. Why are some? Mimi, did you enter your information? I'm kind of behind, Mimi. I'll admit. I'm kind of behind. Why are some Nigerians so unpatriotic? That is today's topic. Yesterday, we were having a conversation in regards to, I think his name is David Umahi, who was the Minister of Public Works, I believe is his title, and how he was grilling some Asian contractors on not fulfilling their end of the agreement. And he was like, "Look, you guys are going to fulfill your end of the agreement, or I'm going to have my goons lay hands and feet on you. And this is how it should be done." You know, these contractors, they come into Nigeria, they come into certain African countries, and they don't do anything, but they're still collecting a check, which is a problem. And David said, "You know what? The buck stops with me. That stops today." And as usual, you know, we open up the lines, people call in, and we had, watching from Tanzania proudly, my beautiful country, Tanzania. Event on scene will be in Tanzania end of September. Okay, let me address this comment. Many people have really failed to understand the history and the present day reality of Nigeria. See, this is the problem. This is what's problematic about your comment. Your reality isn't the next person's reality, if that makes sense. Just because your reality is doom and gloom, that doesn't mean the reality of people, some people on the ground, is doom and gloom. That's all. If that makes sense. There's no such thing as a utopia, guys. I know Nigeria has its issues. I know America has its issues. But there's no such thing as a utopia. And at the end of the day, hold on, let me stop the screen. At the end of the day, Nigeria isn't going anywhere. Again, Nigeria isn't going anywhere. So you could throw a fit, you could complain, you could threaten Biafra, you could threaten Oduduwa Republic, you could complain about, Flora Shaw, her husband or whatever, name Nigeria. We need to change the name, but Nigeria's not going anywhere. And you guys just have to, that's the reality. And for some reason, many of you all are delusional and you're living in an alternate universe. None of that's going to happen. There would be no Biafra. There would be no Oduduwa Republic. There would be no, we got to change the name Nigeria. It's what it's done. The board, what else do I hear? It's the UK or the Europeans who drew the borders. Those borders are there. They're not going anywhere. Those borders are there. You complain about the North. The North's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere, okay? Nigeria isn't going anywhere. It will be there. Somebody said that about Yugoslavia. Well, Yugoslavia was a former, it was part of the Soviet Union, right? Correct. Now, help me out with my European history isn't the best. I mean, am I right? And it broke up in 1992. The Yugoslavia, their history is different. It's completely different. And again, I don't know the full history of the country. I don't. So you guys have to help me out and bear with me and be patient with me. But again, these countries aren't going anywhere. These borders aren't going anywhere. We have to move forward. Again, we have to move forward and find a way to work together. That's just the reality. All right, last year or 4 years ago, you guys were complaining that, or were claiming that Buhari is Jabril from Sudan. I mean, all this, somebody came on the show yesterday and said that all these indigenous Nigerian companies are owned by Europeans. And all I said, and see, let's deal with reality. You brought up reality. Let's deal with reality. All I said was, okay, prove it. I brought up UBA Bank. I said, prove that UBA Bank is owned by Europeans. Tony Elumelu, or is it? Yeah, he owns the majority of the shares. Then he said that Sheun says that Lagos is owned by London or the UK. And all I said was, prove it. So a lot of you're talking about reality, but a lot of your arguments are not rooted in reality. Again, a lot of your guys' arguments, the anti-Nigerians, it's not rooted in reality. Yeah, Jubril of Sudan. Okay, but Larry, are you saying he's Jubril of Sudan as well, Larry? Are you saying that Buhari is Jubril of Sudan? There are yeah, thank you, Adnam. And I looked it up. You're right. I looked it up and they were wrong. I'm still waiting for these land deeds that claim that Lagos is owned by the UK. I'm still waiting on that as well. Please, when you have that for me, guys, let me know. Send me an email or put it in the chat room the proof that Lagos is owned by London. A lot of stuff it's all based in anger, emotion, and delusion. And I don't want to minimize anybody's experience or anyone's pain and suffering that they might have experienced while in Nigeria. But at the end of the day, Nigeria isn't going anywhere. All right. In fact, I showed this the other day. I showed this yesterday or the day before. I'll pull this up again. Nigeria is slated. See, and this is why you can't compare Nigeria to Yugoslavia. Nigeria is slated to be the 5th largest economy by 2075. Again, Nigeria is slated to be a top 5 economy by 2075. Let me pull this up. So Nigeria is not going anywhere. You can't say that about Yugoslavia at all. In fact, what did Yugoslavia produce? What comes out of Yugoslavia or former Yugoslavia? What was Yugoslavia known for? Did Yugoslavia have oil? What resources? And again, I don't know much about that part of the world. I don't know that much about that part of the world. But the prospects and the future of Nigeria is much more brighter than Yugoslavia ever was. So, apples and oranges. Nobody was prospecting this when it came to Yugoslavia. See, this is the problem. And see, this is part of the problem. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's about your children's children. It's about your grandchildren. It's about your children. It's about your legacy. It's about your future. And that's the problem right there. Your comment right there is the problem. Other groups of people plan hundreds of years ahead. We don't. Yeah, Nigeria is like the tech epicenter of Africa. Like Nigeria is the tech capital of Africa. It was Kenya. A few years back, it was Kenya. It's now Nigeria. Years ago, I said it was Kenya. And people were pointing towards Kenya. It's now Nigeria. It's now Nigeria. So we have to stop being so pessimistic about Nigeria. Nigeria's future is bright. And at the end of the day, Nigeria isn't going anywhere. It's not. You know what? Let me say, okay, the tech epicenter of Africa is Kenya, South Africa. I disagree. Number one, the tech epicenter is Nigeria. One reason is it's all indigenous Nigerians. You can't say that about South Africa. You can't say that about Kenya. In Kenya is Indians. South Africa is whites and Indians. In Nigeria, it's all indigenous Nigerians that are running this, that are dominating the tech sector in Nigeria. That's a fact. Guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in, you disagree with me, you're more than welcome to call in. In fact, let me Flutterwave. Here we go. Let me pull this up. And we'll do a comparison between Flutterwave and M-Pesa. Go ahead, Festus.
Hey, good afternoon. I actually didn't know I was gonna start talking, but I'm not gonna say we're not patriotic. We are. There's just a huge disappointment, and you already know the corruption that we have in the country. And I saw that post that you had put on about Tony Elumelu being the owner of UBA Bank. Punch newspaper was actually the website that you got that article from. So if you actually know who owns a Punch newspaper, that is like a government-owned newspaper.
Okay, so then your job is to prove to me who the actual owner is.
Okay, let me finish. Then in Nigeria that I grew up at, right? When you become rich, someone like Obasanjo can literally just give you like an oil block because you've been working for him, you've been faithful, and you get to keep 10% of his oil revenues. So that's the reality, that if you actually live in Nigeria and you understand the situation there, things are not what they are.
There's nepotism everywhere. That's global. That's just not limited to Nigeria. That's everywhere. Does that make sense? I mean, is that true?
I'm not disputing you on what you're saying about like nepotism, but I think in the issue of Nigeria, things are not exactly what they appear to be. That's what I'm trying to make you understand.
Oh man, that's everywhere, man. That's everywhere. At the end of the day, Nigeria is not going anywhere.
And you said Nigeria is, I guess, fifth largest economy by
no, by 2075.
Okay, by 2075. Okay, so what would the population be by then, and what would be the GDP per capita?
Well, I know the population. I mean, the population by 2075 is going to be at least 300 million, 300 at least at the minimum.
Probably over, yeah. So if we then look at GDP per capita, even if Nigeria is big, massive, what about the average human being living there? Because today Nigeria has got 220 people living there, but the GDP per capita is actually very, very, very low. So I don't think, even if the population grows and the GDP grows, what is the standard of living for each Nigerian in the country? And don't look at Nigeria from the spectrum of Abuja or Lagos or Port Harcourt. We have to go to the other like regions in the country to see abject poverty in those parts of the country.
There's poverty everywhere. Go ahead, Isaac.
Brother Dennis, please, can I talk to this brother that is talking, please?
Go ahead.
Because most of them are just flooding the internet. This guy is such a stupid person. You know, I'm a Nigerian like him. Do you know that in the state where I come from, Edo State alone, do you know that the massive developmental process that is going on in Edo State? Sometimes most of the responsible Nigerians, they don't come online. Only the stupid, half-educated or educated illiterate ones, they are the ones that come online to foment trouble for a great country, the great country Nigeria. And from Edo State, you know that you can Google this, Brother Dynast. Edo State now has its own refinery. The first time the state because it's an oil producing state in the south region of Nigeria, among the 6 states in Nigeria, in Niger Delta that produces oil that sustain the entire country. You know, the Lagos does not even produce anything that sustain the country other than it has port. The so-called Lagos. The 6 South Southern states in Nigeria are the ones that produce everything the West Nigeria has. Edo, Delta, River State, Cross River State, Akwa Ibom State, and Bayelsa State. These are the 6 states in Nigeria that produces the entire wealth of the country. Over 80% of the wealth of the country. Now, Edo State has its own refinery. Edo State, because the federal government has deregulated, these people just talk about nonsense. They don't have facts. Now, the federal government has deregulated the electricity sector. That state government cannot have their own electricity grid. Edo State now has its own electricity grid. You go to Edo State now, you can have 24 hours electricity through wind farm. They are building massive, giant wind farms everywhere across the state. You go to Edo State in the night, you think you are in New York. You know, you think you are in New York because people are just fixated on Abuja and Lagos. These are not the only cities in Nigeria. Nigeria has 36 other cities and more. Nigeria is a great country. Forget about these losers that come on your platform to talk ill about Nigeria. These are losers. I'm a proud Nigerian. I will die in Nigeria if there's the possibility of reincarnating. I will still come back to this life again as a Nigerian. I'm very proud. Things are happening in Nigeria. Dynast, you know why I love you so much, Dynast? There are only 2 people I follow religiously on YouTube. The 2 Pan-African I follow religiously on YouTube. Prince Dynast and Afro Think Tank. These are the two African Americans who are Nigerian citizens and who are Pan-Africans that I follow on YouTube. Because I'm Pan-African too. I will live and die for Africa. I will live and die for Nigeria. Go to Edo State and see the massive development that is going on. You won't believe it that it's a part of Nigeria. And it's happening in other states of the country too. Go to Anambra, go to Delta, go to Ebonyi. Things are happening in Nigeria. Nigeria is industrializing. My only regret is that my fellow African descendants in America, that is just my pain. Like the likes of Simpolis, Brandon, and others. They can benefit. Like they are awarding this coastal highway now. You have some Americans there who have already integrated into Nigeria, monitoring everything, supervising everything, giving advice. That is what we Nigerians are looking for. Nigeria have the money to do anything they want to do. But we want our African American brothers to come to Nigeria and be a part of the growth. Because we are also going to benefit from it. Because Nigeria is the most Pan-African country in Africa. But people don't even know. People are just following the narrative on the mainstream media, you know. So let me stop for now, brother. I just want let others also talk. I'm still around.
Can I follow up on that?
Guys, make sure you hit the like button again. Please hit that like button that you come to the chat room. And link is in the chat room. If you want to call in, please click the link and please hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. And guys, go ahead and super chat as well. Okay, y'all go ahead and super chat. Go ahead,
yeah. So when I come here to this space, I don't hate my country. I talk about what's wrong in this country. And I think for this medium, right, we shouldn't all just come and say good things, even if there are bad things going on in the country. I think it is highly irresponsible for Isaac to start on here and throw insult at me. We're only just showing our own opinion. When I disagree with what anyone is saying, I'm not throwing insults. I'm just saying what I see about the country. So if you want to counter my own facts or my claims as to what's wrong in the country, that's fine. But to start throwing insults, that's irresponsible. That's childish.
And Festus, I agree, but you haven't given any facts.
I don't care how you feel because you don't talk good about my country. My country is greater than you. If you don't see anything good about my country, who are you? I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm sorry to use that word, fuck. Sorry. I don't give a fuck. Who are you?
Dynast, you said I don't have any facts. Do you want me to show you facts as to why Nigeria is corrupt? Because the fact is everywhere. Why Nigeria?
Well, no, you brought up the whole.
The other guy said Lagos belongs to UK. The other one said
I didn't say that.
owned by
Okay,
foreigners.
so let Dynast talk to me about what I said or what I did not say, because I'm choosing my words carefully. I'm not coming here to insult people, so I don't appreciate insults being thrown. If I don't have any facts and Dynast says that to me, okay, fine. I didn't have any facts, but to just come here and throw insults, that's irresponsible, bro. We can agree to disagree. But to just start throwing insults, come on, man. You know better than that.
I don't want to agree with you. Please go ahead
that's
and say what you want
That's
to say.
fine, but don't start with insults. Like, don't start with insults, bro.
Let me pass it to Bantu Supremist. Go ahead, unmute yourself.
Oh, Dynast, thanks for giving me the panel. I mean, I came in on the panel. I heard this brother was talking about Nigeria is the most Pan-African country in Africa. I'm like, being from Africa, I've never heard of a Pan-Africanist who champion the Pan-African movement from Nigeria. Growing up in history, we always heard of names like Kwame Nkrumah and Thomas Sankara and Patrice Lumumba and all these Pan-African countries that were these leaders that were championing Pan-Africanism in Africa. And hearing from a Nigerian mouth, and then it's I mean, from this guy's mouth is sickening.
Okay,
because
please let me
let me finish. No, let me finish. Let me finish.
Let him Isaac, let him finish. Isaac, let him finish. Isaac, I gotta let him finish. Isaac, let him finish. Go ahead.
Let me finish. Pan-Africanism. Most of the time when we talk of Pan-Africanism is the communal lifestyle of bringing African countries together.
Good.
I remember when the African Union launched a free trade in Africa. I think the last country to sign it was even Nigeria. They came back like how many years? I mean, maybe 1 or 2 years later to sign that document. It was a document where countries could actually trade within neighboring countries, and I think Nigeria kicks against it, and they came back later to sign it. It has also been a lot of times when Nigeria that could be pulling the strings of African countries, pulling them together. Have not actually shown that. Now, when it comes to being unpatriotic in your own country, there are a lot of things that makes people to be unpatriotic. And the different might be for every citizen might have a different reason of it. If you come to United States, most Black Americans might not be patriotic to United States, but maybe most white people will be patriotic to United States. It comes to who is benefiting most in that country. When you go to Nigeria, some people might be benefiting most from that country, so they might be patriotic in that domain. While others that they have been marginalized, insulted, they cannot be anything in that country. They might be unpatriotic because they have faced a lot of problems in that country. So just using or forcing people to be patriotic despite the fact that they are facing different problems and you might not be facing the same thing, just doesn't make sense at all. So when this other brother is telling you the problems he faced or how his country is also being run just because he's Nigerian doesn't mean he has to be patriotic. You guys all went through the same world. Maybe you came from a wealthy family. You live good. Your whole family have embezzled money from the government. You have no right to be unpatriotic. I mean, so look, man, everyone has the right to their own knowledge and the right to say whatever you can. You cannot force people what they have to say or not. This is a free street and people have the right to speak what they want to say.
Thank you, brother.
Let me
interject. I have the right to interject. Let me tell you, brother Dynast, please, I know you are a very versatile guy. Please go to Google. Please, we are working on facts here. Go to Google and type, what year did Nigeria boycott the Commonwealth Games to protest apartheid in South Africa? Please, brother Dynast, just do this for me because I'm like you. I believe in facts.
And you know what? Also, Festac was in Nigeria.
Okay, let me just read it to you. This is quoted for Google. If you put it there in your Google, what year did Nigeria boycott the Commonwealth Games? Yeah, then Nigeria was still under British.
I mean, hold on.
Brother, please just give me 1 minute. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he said Nigeria did not attend 4 games in 1962, in 1978. This is Google. In protest at New Zealand's sporting policies towards South Africa during apartheid. In 1986 again, and in 1998. Yes, that was now due to suspension because Nigeria boycotted the Commonwealth Games in 1962 and in 1978. Go to Google, it's there. This is not my book.
I believe you.
Yeah, what year did Nigeria boycott the Commonwealth Games? Commonwealth Games is like Olympics for people who are colonized by Britain. It's only United States and 1 or 2 other countries that are not in Commonwealth. Even Canada is in Commonwealth Games because they were colonized by Britain. Now, he said Nigeria did not attend 4 Commonwealth Games. 2, they boycotted 2 to protest apartheid in South Africa because the British were ruling South Africa. Then because they boycotted 2, the Commonwealth Games now suspended Nigeria in 1986 and 1998. You understand? So what I'm trying to say, Nigeria has spearheaded Pan-Africanism. Nigeria funded the African National Congress that is ruling in South Africa today. Nigeria funded it. Nigeria was a great country, still a great country. When the Nigerian naira was higher than the dollar, I'm 54 years old now. I was born 1970. I was alive when the Nigerian naira was higher than the dollar. If you have $1, it will give you 2 naira. In Nigeria, in the 80s. So I'm a young man, but I'm relatively not a young man, 54 years old. I know what I'm talking about.
See,
so
Diners.
So
I mean, you have
to come here
countries
and
in
telling me
Africa.
about Nigeria, I'll just be looking at them. Sometimes I don't like to call in because all of them
Diners,
see
you
them
have
as
countries in Africa that has helped countries in one way or the other. I mean, this border might be confusing what Pan-Africanism is done and showing support to another African country. I mean, you have countries. I mean, Ghana.
You want to change now? You want in the middle of the game now? You want to change the definition of Pan-Africanism? This is an anti-Nigerian person. I don't even have to talk to you. You are anti-Nigerian, and all the other African countries, 53 other African countries will continue to be behind Nigeria, whether you like it or not. It's destined to be like that. Nigeria is the greatest black nation, not in Africa, on earth.
I agree.
All the other 53 African countries will always be behind Nigeria, whether Sierra Leone, Cameroon, anywhere. You don't know the destiny Nigeria has. The other 53 African countries, you are just wasting time. Nigeria is feeding. If Nigeria lock border today, Seme president will run to Nigeria. If Nigeria lock Benin and Nigeria border, Seme president will run to Nigeria because they will be starving. Forget that we don't have the right. I'm not in support of the leaders. So don't think I'm in support of the leaders. No, that is not what I'm talking about. I'm not in support of the leaders. But I'm not in support of Nigerians who come on the internet or social media to castigate Nigeria.
See, when you talk, allow people to talk. But when Nigerians shut their border down, no African country starved. The Nigerians were the ones that were starving, and they have to ask their president to open their borders. Come on, man. We follow this stuff. They were importing rice from Benin Republic. They have you can go on YouTube and check it out.
Yeah, but Buhari. No, Buhari. No. You're not telling the full story. You're not telling the full story. Hold on, one mic. The reason why he shut down the borders because the rice from Benin was undercutting the local rice growers in Nigeria.
Exactly, Dinah. You are right, but the problem is Benin was not crying. Benin Republic was not starving.
Just be quiet and listen.
Cameroon was not starving. I mean, come on, man. The Nigerians were the ones that asked their government to reopen the border because the rice that we were having, it was not satisfying the whole country.
Hold on, one mic. Let me pass that. Go ahead, Al.
Judah, listen, right? First of all, Dennis, thank you for creating this great platform. I always say this is the #1 platform ever. And Judah, I thought by now you would increase your quality of opinion before you come on board. But seriously, Just be careful, right? Well, Judah, what is patriotism? Judah, what is patriotism?
Go ahead and make your point, Al.
No, but what is patriotism? No, you came on and you actually criticizing Isaac. You came on like you know what patriotism. So if you don't know what you're talking about, can you just mute? What is patriotism, Judah?
Go ahead, man. Make your point, man. Come on.
If you don't know, just say you don't know.
I know what patriotism is, but go ahead and make your point.
What is the definition of patriotism today? Prove me wrong.
Go ahead,
Everyone
man.
is listening. Come on. No, come on. If you don't know, again, if you don't know the definition of patriotism, just say it. What is patriotism today? You don't know. Let me tell you what patriotism is. Patriotism is not about what you gain from a country. It's devotion, yeah, and vigorous support for one's country, right? So Isaac is 100% spot on. And number two, today, I've been with you in different platforms over the years. You are not a Pan-African. So what the hell are you here talking and arguing about Pan-Africanism? Seriously, just chill, right? The brother Isaac is spot on. Nigeria is a future, and Nigeria is a very Pan-African economy. You cannot have one economy. There's not one economy in Africa. As much as I've been on different platforms, you know, me and you, we talk about really good stuff, right? You hear me criticizing Nigeria, you hear me praising Nigeria. I don't beat around the bush and I don't pander to no one, right? Nigeria, when it comes to the economy, is the most Pan-African economy. Some Nigerians are not Pan-African. Just like every nation, the population is huge. You're going to find some Nigerians that actually do not like Pan-Africanism. You will find some that actually are Pan-African. But what Isaac is telling you is 100% spot on. They helped South Africa, you know, during our war in Sierra Leone and Liberia. Yeah. Cameroon, you did not turn up. They came in and helped us out. You know, as we speak, you know, the chair of ECOWAS is actually in Nigeria, even though a lot of people have their own objection towards Nigeria, how they handle the Niger coup and so on. You know, that's for another day. But the reality is they are Pan-African economy. And what is Pan-Africanism, right? Without the economy. Because we tried different things. You mentioned Thomas Sankara. He's my brother. But what did he manage to achieve? What is a landmark about, you know, obviously what he left in Burkina Faso today? What Kwame Nkrumah managed to achieve in Africa? Look at the mess that we're in, right? So you need to think. And Dynast just mentioned about the Benin rice importation. I saw that on TV. Buhari said, I did it deliberately because the farmers need to farm. I want Nigeria to be rice independent, right?
I understand, but the question is nobody was starving in Benin Republic. That was my point, because he said when Nigeria shut down their border, neighboring countries.
Let me interject. Bantu, when's the last time you've been to Nigeria?
I'm not from Nigeria, so.
Oh, man, get out of here.
No.
Get out of here.
How did you manage to get you back today?
Can I answer that question?
Get out of here.
Just behave yourself. Judah, while you're on the platform, please behave.
I'm in Nigeria 3-4 times a year. I did not see any Nigerians with big, undernourished, big belly.
Dynast, have you gone to Maiduguri? Have you gone to Borno? Have you gone to Katsina? Have you gone to Kano? Have you gone to the Jigawa?
Have you gone? Have you gone?
No, I'm asking you. Okay, you should check on videos about those states.
You haven't gone.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But my problem was when he said when Nigerians shut down their border, neighboring countries starved to death. That was weird. Because when they shut down their border, Benin Republic were living good. You know, the citizens.
Benin Republic, as someone just wrote down in the comment, they are actually Nigerians in a way. If you look at the people that live in Benin, they're actually Nigerians from the southwest.
Wow, you know, every African country is connected. It's not only
exactly. Benin Republic. So they are connected not only in terms of economy, yeah, but they are connected in a lot of different ways, right? So you cannot divide. Listen, right, Judah, just stop the cap, man. You're not making any sense if you came on. Just let others speak, please, because you're not Pan-African. You gave up on it a long time ago, yeah? So when people are talking about Pan-Africanism, that brother from that came, Isaac, he was making valid points, and I want to hear him speak more because he knows much about Nigeria than I do. So He's one of the reasons why I came on. Please let Brother Isaac speak, please. Thank you.
Why not Festus?
Brother, I thank you very much. You know, the problem Jude is having is angry with Nigeria because the part of Cameroon where he lives now was a part of Nigeria before.
Wow.
Jude is angry that when that decision came, when the Traditional Court of Justice made that a declaration that Nigeria should forfeit that part to Cameroon, Nigeria did not fight to bring their part of Cameroon into Nigeria. That is one of the greatest anger that Jude has for Nigeria.
Yeah, but your president sold us.
OBJ sold us. Stop interrupting it. Stop interrupting it.
Part of Cameroon, he wanted to be, because they were part of Nigeria before, until recently when the Traditional Court of Justice ruled that that peninsula, Nigeria should forfeit it to Cameroon. You understand? Right. So Nigeria, and we really, that was during the time of Obasanjo. Many of us Nigerians really fought why Obasanjo did not fight, to take that part, because France was fighting for Cameroon, but Britain was not even there for Nigeria. Nigeria was just fighting a lone battle. At the end of the day, Nigeria lost that battle because that area is oil rich. It's a peninsula. You know, so Nigeria lost that area to Cameroon just recently, not even like 200 years ago, just recently during the time of Obasanjo. So that is one of the anger of Jude. But I always tell him, I come across him sometimes on a one-man went to Mo show, he's always angry with Nigeria. But I'm telling him as a Nigerian that Nigeria is not a terrible place. I'm in Nigeria, I'm a full-fledged Nigerian, and I'm a proud one for that. So, but he should take it easy because it's not as bad as he thinks. So, and the other Nigerian guy that is there, Festus, I want you to know that Nigeria is a great place. You understand? Nigeria is a great place to live in, to do business in. Nigerians will develop Nigeria, but my problem is that the way America is going, African Americans will make more money in Nigeria. That is just my concern. Because of that.
But the fact about you is you are pandering to a group of people to come and develop Nigeria. Why are your fellow
Jude, just because you don't like Black Americans, you don't like African Americans. Just because you don't like them, it doesn't mean we all Africans have to hate them. We don't listen. Some of us are not built.
Stop using words.
You don't. Just be honest. Just because you're a dynasty, just be honest, right? They listen to you all the time. They know you don't like them. You go on show and talk shit about them. That's fine. But you prefer the white man to come to develop Africa. You feel like the white man should be the one that come to Africa and recolonize us again. Just be honest. This is the difference between me and you. Because I would come here and see what I like, and I don't care what people write about me on the comments or on the show. They can ban me on the show, but I will just stand with the truth. Well, don't flip-flop. Don't be a man and don't flip-flop. Yeah? The reality is, Nigeria, helped us during the war in Sierra Leone and Liberia. No other country did, apart of Guinea. There's only one country that could boast above Nigeria and West Africa for Pan-Africanism. It's the Republic of Guinea-Conakry. And every African know that if you know your African history. Forget about Kwame Nkrumah. Put him aside. If you mention Kwame Nkrumah in Guinea, they'll know him very well because he created a federation with Sekou Touré that actually went so bad. And that was his heyday, right? But I'm telling you, you're actually speaking to the real people of the real Pan-Africanism. When you talk about Pan-Africanism in West Africa, is the people of the Guinea Coast and Senegambia. Obviously, over the years, Nigeria did follow, and the economy, the way the economy is run, is more Pan-African than Kenya. Kenya is owned by Indians. Kenyans are workers; they don't own shit. South Africans are workers. Their land is owned by the white man. They don't own shit. The only people that own something in Africa are the Nigerians. Of course, I understand why Nigerians. Of course, can I finish? Stop interrupting me.
Come on, man.
Stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting me.
Why are you
understand why Nigerians are not happy with their country?
Okay. Well, one mic. Let me still pass it. Let me pass it back to Festus. Go ahead, Festus.
I think for me though, I live in the US, but I go to Nigeria like every year. I went last month and I'm going in May, mid of May, because I have businesses in Nigeria. My family are involved in business. So I live in Nigeria, like I know what's going on in Nigeria. It's a great place to make money. I would wish Nigeria was where it ought to be as far as like being a $2 to $3 trillion economy, but Nigeria is not there. And it's frustrating because We see the plight of Black folks everywhere: South Africa, US, Caribbean, Europe, Brazil, and whatnot. And I would wish for Nigerian leaders to get their act together. There were times where they did when we had the
Exactly.
back in the First Republic, when we had the regional system. East and West were doing well, but Nigeria is not there yet. It's not where it ought to be. And I'm not speaking from hate of the country. Like, I really do
You're
express a lot of
speaking the truth, man.
frustrations in the country. I really do express a lot of frustration because the plight of Black folks, right? If there is not one single country like Nigeria that has the potential to be the USA of Africa that's not functioning well, then there's going to be so much disrespect to Black folks everywhere, because now it proves to everyone you guys cannot build a nation. I live in the US right now, but I would rather be in my country.
I agree with you there. I agree with you. Nigeria has to rise up.
I agree with him also on that.
Listen,
Hey,
guys,
Yeah.
when you guys talk, I'll let you speak. So
Yeah,
let
go
me
on.
speak, So I would wish our leaders at some point, and the past is the past, so let us forget about the past. But the fact that we don't grow our own food, we don't make little things like toothpick and pepper and whatnot, like we import so much. There's manufacturing going on in Nigeria, but it is not at the level where it ought to be. And when we look at great nations, today, like what the US, has done, what the Brits, the Chinese, they had leaders that basically said, enough of tribalism, enough of the past. We were screwed over by foreigners with different religions, Islam and Christianity, and we have like crazy like identity. We've never had like a great leader that's like, okay, henceforth, we're not going to be stooping low to the Europeans. We're going to get our shits together. Like, Nigeria has to get here to make all Nigerians to be proud. I'm proud of Nigeria, but I would also speak about what's not working, because I'm going to be doing myself a disservice to speak about what's working, but not talk about what's not working. Like, Nigeria has a lot of problems that we have to like boldly talk about. You're not going to like confront your leaders until all is all good or well, when we have so much vices that we have to like tackle. So I'm not talking from a position of hate or being pessimistic. I'm just talking about, hey, these are the things that's not working. This is the level of corruption that has led Nigeria to a destitute country. And there are great places in Nigeria. So it's not all gloom from my point of view, because I'm always there here and there. So I'm always speaking from like a passionate point of view, where Nigeria is not where it ought to be, and we need to like get moving like right now. I would expect the Nigerian parliament to pass a law that says to be president, you should have college degree, so we can prevent likes of Buhari who didn't even have secondary school degree to begin with. So there are many things that we have to start doing. We're making baby steps, but we have to be making like giant steps. We're just crawling. I don't hate my country, but I would speak fact about the negative views in the country, not because of from a position of hate, no, because I love my country.
Let me acknowledge these super chats. Mimi, thank you for the $10 holla. Rose of Mafa, $5 holla. Question for Judah: should the rich Nigerian enslave the poor and work with the white man to make the country better? That's for you, Judah.
Do you want me to answer it?
Yeah, it's a question. Go ahead.
I mean, but Dinas, what do you expect, man? It's rather unfortunate. You check on the statistics of Nigeria, and over 220 million people in Nigeria, 180 something people are in poverty.
That's not true. That's not
come
true.
on.
This guy just talk anyhow.
That's not true.
Come on, not anyhow. Look, I'm telling you, go and check on how many people are living below the poverty line in Nigeria.
It's not up to 20% of Nigerians that are living in poverty.
That's not true.
Every family in Nigeria has a millionaire. Every family in Nigeria has a millionaire. In my family, we have up to 7 millionaires in my family.
Millionaire in Naira. How much a millionaire in Naira is not up to $500 US? What the hell are you talking about?
Well, they are still millionaires.
Come on, man. Come on. I mean, your currency has inflated. It drops. I mean, it goes up like a swinging pendulum. You can let me finish, man.
To be a millionaire in Nigeria means you are 1,000 in dollars. Okay. If your brain is not working.
I mean, but let's hold on, man. I mean, the guy asked a question. Let me answer, right? Look, if you have probably 10 millionaires in Nigeria, and you have this poverty line, and you have a lot of poverty kids, like they should at least adopt most of these guys from the north. You go to Borno State, you have a lot of people roaming around. They need shelter and all these things. Few days ago, I just heard the news that Nigerians were calling out most of their refugees in Chad Republic and Cameroon. You know, those guys that flee from all this crime stuff. But this is not the case, man. At least I also want white people to also maybe come back and recolonize most of these guys, because ever since they left, we
The white people
Africans
have
have
no
Oh,
not been
dude,
place in
fed.
Nigeria.
man,
White people have no
we
place in
gotta,
Nigeria. We are
we
looking
gotta
for
end that.
African
We gotta end
Americans.
that. Hey,
We are looking for African
Festus,
Americans to benefit from their own
yeah,
I told you,
inheritance.
Dynast. I told you, don't lower this platform. He's listen. This guy, no wonder why he's been kicked out
We want
from so
African
many
Americans
platforms.
to benefit from their
No
inheritance
surprise.
because they are ancestral Africans. We want them to benefit from their inheritance. We are not more Africans than African Americans who are in America for no fault of theirs. We are no more Africans than them. We want them to come to Nigeria. There is wet. For somebody like Brother Dynast, if they form an association tomorrow, Association of African Americans Africans in diaspora, if they really go about it and register with Corporate Affairs Commission in Lagos or Abuja, between now and 8 months, they will be able to meet with President Tinubu. That's why I'm just talking. Most of these African Americans, they don't have the right click to Nigeria and the right information to Nigeria. That is the problem they are having. Otherwise, they would have broken through Nigeria already. In 8 months from now, today, they will have access to President Tinubu to present their case to President Tinubu or the Minister of Foreign Affairs or Internal Affairs. That is how Nigeria works. But the African Americans, they don't have someone in Nigeria that can give them the clues how Nigeria works. You will see African Americans being incorporated into so many areas in Nigeria because Nigeria is vast. It's a vast economy.
Right.
It's a vast economy, brother. Even I here, you Sierra Leone. Nigeria will incorporate you into Nigeria. They won't care if you are for Sierra Leone. As long as you are black, you are African.
We are very close. We are very close. We are
I'm
very
telling
close
you, that
brothers.
is the
You'll
way
be
Nigeria
surprised.
is. There's no hard and fast rule about it. But the African Americans don't know this. They are always talking on social media. But they refuse to know about that country, Nigeria. That is my pain. That's why I was attacking a Sim Police Academy the other day. You know, because Nigeria has potential and you need people like China, people like this Sim Police. If he's humble, he will go to Nigeria and CNN will be showing him on CNN that this guy used to be in Nigeria, but he's now advisor to the president of Nigeria. So this. That is how Nigeria works.
So Sim Police is just disappointed. It's not because he don't want things to happen. He's just disappointed on how some of our mentalities are, and he's just shocked how lazy some of our people are. That's why I always listen to him, and he's very right. But it's people like Judy that come in here that's begging for the white man to come and recolonize us again. And he came here on a Pan-African platform. It's quite the guy needs help. Now Cameroon is a country that divides itself based on colonial languages: the French side of Cameroon and the British side of Cameroon. Yeah, this is how divided they are in Cameroon. They're still at war. The refugees, they flee all over the place. The president is the biggest coon that actually sits in European land and leading the country on behalf of the French. And for example, the Cameroonian brother came here the last time talking about how he wants things to happen in Senegal and stuff like that. I asked him about how things are going in his country, Cameroon. Oh, there's no hope. Our president, maybe his son is going to be ruling the country on behalf of the French. It's like they're all delusional. I don't know what's wrong with these village people. It's like where did they went to school? Who educated these guys? I don't understand. He is here arguing about Pan-Africanism or patriotism. You don't even know what the definition of patriotism is. He's just here to waste our time. Unfortunately, this platform is so great to have idiots like him coming here talking rubbish. Do you understand? Nigeria, of course, I understand where Festus is coming from. I can hear the frustration in Nigeria. I'm not Nigerian. I want Nigeria to succeed for different reasons. Number one, I got my people there. Number two, when Nigeria was so bad back in the days, we had loads of Nigerians in the far west, coming over seeking for help. And also when we had problems, Nigerians came to the rescue, right? So there's a really common reason for us to work together in West Africa, and also Nigeria is a West African country. We're all related people. So there's a reason for us to want Nigeria to work. But for some reason, The guy is just hate Nigerians and Nigeria. He's always picking up Cameroon over Nigeria. But the reality is, I'm not seeing Cameroon doing anything better than Nigeria.
Okay, guys, let's hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Hey, Festus, thank you for the $49.99 holla. I greatly appreciate it. Links in the chat.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah. So about the Cameroon, the border issue with Nigeria. When we go back to history about how colonization started, Germany colonized Togoland, Cameroon with a K, Namibia, and Tanganyika. When they lost World War One, then Britain took Tanganyika and Zanzibar. That's now Tanzania. They took Namibia, and Togoland was split into two. One part was added to Ghana, then the other part is what we know as Togo, Republic of Togo. That's French speaking today. Cameroon was split into two. So Adamawa was added to northern Nigeria. Then there's another part of Cameroon that was added to southeastern Nigeria. Around the time of 1960, when independence came, the British, not wanting Nnamdi Azikwe's party, NCNC, to win a lot of votes against what they wanted the North to lead. So they cut out that tiny strip of land. They gave that to Cameroon, which is now French. The French are taking over that part. But they've always had like disputes on what line, what area. So that's where the Bakassi area came into play, when Obasanjo had to like give up that tiny little piece of land to Cameroon just to like avoid war. But if Nigeria is working well, all these African countries will not need to trade with Europe or China. Nigeria will literally be calling the shots. When you see Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali run into Russia or Russians interference in their countries, if Nigeria was working, they would naturally come to Nigeria for economic assistance, not looking to displace the French to have the Russians in. So this is if Nigeria is actually working. But today, I will tell you how bad the Nigerian economy has messed up. Not just my business, like my family's business. We are still doing well, but when you have the currency lose value, it affects businesses. You have to like retrain, like you have to reshape your business in the sense that it has to thrive, and people have to move their funds out before the currency keeps crashing. We don't know where Naira is going to. We don't know how or what's backing up the currency right now, but the drop in the value of Naira has affected a lot of people that I know that are doing business. My families are in Nigeria doing business. Like Nigeria is literally like the lifeblood, because what are you really doing here in the US? You work, you're a slave to a white man, but you actually own your own stuff back home. And people are literally there just finding new ways to make money. But it is very hard. I'm not going to kid you. It's not like a bed of roses. If you make it in the country, you're going to live like a king, but it is really hard. What's hard is the uncertainty, the drop in Naira. Naira keeps fluctuating, so you don't really know how to like plan your next move, your next business. If you have like properties, right? If the value of your property is going like 10% increase, you don't really know how low inflation is going to like bite into your earnings. So I would wish Nigeria would work, but we just have to keep wishing and praying. But at some point, like someone had said previously about are Nigerian people lazy or whatnot, I might say maybe 50-50, because we get carried away by Western media, Big Brother Nigeria, and no one's really paying, not all, some people are not really paying attention to the politics in the country or even to know their rights. A lot of Nigerians put up with BS. They put up with nonsense that the governors, the senators, they do, and they don't even protest. There used to be protests at some point in the past, but we need more protests. We need to tell the governors, the presidents, everyone, like, we're not going to put up with this corruption that's literally in front of everyone.
Sorry, please, you can start the protest in Nigeria embassy in US, okay? Nigeria has an embassy in the US. You can start the protest there. We'll see it and we'll follow.
I don't just live in the US. I also live in Nigeria. Like I'm in Nigeria like 50% of the year. I know I don't need to do that. I actually do that in Nigeria on its own. Like I've been shot at, tear gas and whatnot. I was in Nigeria doing NSAS. So I'm not just chilling in the US, like no, like the economic wars in Nigeria, like it is biting into my finances. So I'm not just living in the US working for a white man. No, I'm actually in Nigeria.
Festus, can I ask you a question, brother? Who do you think in your lifetime, which leader that you think have been obviously is your been a favorite, and what system do you think will work for Nigeria?
Okay, I would say what system is good for Nigeria. I would say two systems, right? So we had the
Yes,
federal system, regional system, right? Where like each region manages like their affairs. And that was workable because like we had the politicians that actually fought for independence, that actually governed their respective region. But it failed because of the way the North was actually running the affairs of the country. They didn't even want independence. But regional system worked well for the East. We had Michael Okpara and then we had Awolowo in the West until the military took over the country. Nigeria had its best economic growth at that point. Even most African countries did until their leaders started being assassinated. And I think today, based on the ethnic and religious issues going on, I would want a benevolent military dictator. You've seen that happen in South Korea with Park, and in Singapore with Lee Kuan Yew, in China with Mo, right? So I think to create a system that works for everyone, irrespective of like religion and culture, or ethnicities and whatnot, we need a strong military leader. But all the military leaders that we had, they failed because Britain pushed the Northerners to send their kids to school. Many of the kids that went to the military, they were uneducated. Britain created a system where the North would rule Nigeria for them. So the kids that the Northerners pushed to go to the military, many didn't even go to secondary school. The Southerners went to universities. So they understood politics, revolutionary stuff that's going on outside of Africa. And they wanted Nigeria to be more like a socialist country that helps everyone to some extent. But most of the leaders that ruled Nigeria in the military era, they were uneducated military folks. And they are still the ones, even in democracy today, like Buhari or Obasanjo, many didn't really gain a lot of like education that was needed to propel the country to where it is today. So once those class of folks are gone, we might see a new
do you think,
crop of leaders.
Yes. Do you think Obasanjo and Buhari still carry a lot of weight in that country, from the backseat? And do you think their influence is still reigning in Nigeria?
I mean, both guys are very rich. I mean, the oil blocks and whatnot, yeah, they are still very influential. No one's gonna go and I guess someone Buhari to come and answer, where are this missing money? Where did they go? Because of, it's Buhari. Like, if you do that, you're gonna like incite massive protest from the Northerners to and then there's also someone you didn't even mention, Babangida also. If you know Babangida, he instituted structural adjustment program that literally deindustrialized Nigeria's manufacturing sector, and he was knighted by the Queen of England in Buckingham Palace. A lot of Nigerians don't know, but there are actual pictures. If they go and study history, he was knighted by the Queen of England. So that tells you when Babangida actually became head of state, the bastardization of Nigerian culture, like ineptitude, corruption that we didn't really see previously. It was like the order of the day when Babangida was head of state, and then his stooge Abacha, they just carried on with corruption.
Okay. For me, I don't think you're unpatriotic at all. Like like Jude family was pointing out and others. I think you're just fed up. The system is not working for the common man. But I like the angle that Isaac also.
Yeah, I'm fed up too. You are very correct. I'm fed up too. I'm not a supporter of Tinubu, but I want it to succeed because if he succeeds, Nigeria succeed.
Exactly. Yes,
I'm not a supporter. I'm not a supporter of even Obi. I'm not a supporter of any of them. I'm not a political person. The only two people I've always loved in my life was Awolowo, that Yoruba man that wanted to rule Nigeria. Because his party, Unity Party of Nigeria, was ruling in our state then, and they gave us free education. That was how we went to school. That was how we were able to represent Nigeria globally today, academically. So, and the second person was Abiola.
Well, let him finish. I'll pass to you, T. Nigel. Go ahead, Isaac. I'll pass to you the next.
And the other person was Abiola, who won the 1993 election, but Babangida refused to give to him.
Right.
You know, that he was later acknowledged, and the Democracy Day was not named after him, June 12, after everything, after he died in prison. You understand?
Okay.
So these are the only two. All the people that have ruled Nigeria since I was born, I've never liked any.
Well, was it Babangida or was it a Abacha that didn't give
Yes, it was
presidency?
Abacha, but it was Babangida that had known the election.
Oh, okay.
So Babangida now left. He now put interim government in place by Oshoneko. Oshoneko was now the head of the interim government. So Abacha now overthrew the interim government of Oshoneko and became head of state. That was how Abacha became head of state in 1995.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
he now became head of state. So after he became head of state, he now killed Abiola in prison. You know, so and I love Abiola till tomorrow. I demonstrated for June 12, 1993. I demonstrated a love for it. And I was a fan of Awolowo, Obafemi Awolowo. You understand? That Pan-Africanist. You understand?
Right.
So my point is that I agree with Festus. If he's disappointed, Nigeria is disappointing other black people around the world. I agree with him. I'm not disputing that. You understand? Because Nigeria ought to be a refuge, even for African Americans. They will just pick their bag and say, no, I'm going to Africa, I'm going to Nigeria, or I'm going to Cameroon, or I'm going to Sierra Leone. You understand? They should be able to go there like they can go to Miami or they can go to California from Virginia or from Pennsylvania. You know, they should be able to pack their bag like that if they feel that they are not comfortable there. That is what I want for Africa. I agree with Festus on that. You know, but not continue to lay courses on Nigeria every day on social media. I'm not in support of that. No. If Tinubu is corrupt, say Tinubu is corrupt. I'm all for it. You understand?
Yes.
Not continue to lay courses and say that there's no future for Nigeria or Nigeria should break away. The other one was saying that Nigeria should change its name. You understand? I lived in Germany for so many years. Germany caused the First World War and Second World War. They are still called Germany. What has Nigeria done? United States has killed millions of people around the world through wars and political assassination. They are still called the United States. Britain colonized the world and maltreated the whole of Africa and Asia and the rest. They are still called Great Britain. What has Nigeria done to deserve changing its name? What has Nigeria done? You have a lot of half-educated or educated, illiterate Nigerians coming on social media to say all kind of stupid things. Why should Nigeria change its name from Nigeria?
Very true.
Right. Let me pass it to Niger. Go ahead, Niger.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Greetings to everyone on the panel and the chat and to the viewers. Greetings. I think just to start with the naming, I think it's important that if you want to take charge of your country, you can decide to rename it if you see fit. I don't see any reason why we have to keep a name that is associated with a swear word and that is provided to us by foreigners. I don't know about you. I wouldn't allow another man to name my own family or my child. That said, regarding the reasons why Nigerians tend to be down, some of them come online and be negative about Nigeria, I think it's just their way of manifesting their frustration with the country. Some people express it in different ways. Some of them, they will talk about separation. Others will cost the country. It's just a way, because when you speak to them, you ask them, you know, what is it going to take for Nigeria to, you know, for you to start seeing Nigeria in positive light? They will just list all the things we all of us here want to see. So it tells you that it's just a way of them to express their frustration. Sometimes what my concern is that when they express those kind of frustrations, there are actual people that actually want to carry those things out. Those are the real threats. And where they become threats is that in the hands of a foreigner that will mold them and give them weapons, they will go and kill their own people for the sake of it. Because some of them actually believe in trying to break the country up, but not a lot of them do. Like maybe 95% of them don't want to do that. But that 5% that want to do it, they are saying the same things as the ones that don't want to do it. Hence, those ones, if they go and give weapons to them, they will cause serious problem in the country. And as a matter of fact, they use them to control our leaders. Because if our leaders want to do anything, they will say, oh, if you want to do that, okay, we'll work with these other guys then, and we'll see how you enjoy it then. They try to do that with Niger. They tried to do that with this in Burkina Faso. You see that they say it all the time that they literally release the bandits and the people that the government put that are separatists in Niger. They release them just a few days after the coup. So these are the kind of things we are contending. Yeah, they release some of the kind of bandits or something, or they came out and they started threatening the central government because they said that there's a coup that happened in Niger. So, and didn't you hear the Traore, the head of state of Burkina Faso? He said it now that the moment you do take over, you start seeing the sleeper cells come out that they have within your nation. So this is what we are dealing with here, and I think we should. Nigerians are a lot more united than they like to believe. When you insult one Nigerian online and you see Nigerians come at you, then you suddenly realize that Nigerians, they unite very quickly when they are being attacked by external forces. It's just that our leaders have not given us any marching order. Our leaders, if anything, have stood us down. This is the problem. They don't want to marshal the people. They don't want the people to do anything. They just want them to pretend as if they are, running around. It's like a hamster running around this thing, the wheel, and thinking that they are making progress. There's no progress happening. This is the frustration people are expressing. They don't want our people to do it. And that's why you don't see them recruiting heavily into their security forces. You don't see them incentivizing even the ones that have the skill to do serious manufacturing. You don't see them discouraging the use of the dollar in their own economy. As a matter of fact, they even encourage it. They even do so many things that encourage the use of that. What kind of government encourages the use of dollar, foreign currency? It's only a saboteur that does that. So these are the kind of things that frustrate people. But we are all responsible for it. I think that's why I like what Nigeria first said yesterday. We are all responsible for it. But how are we all responsible for it? Is by the fact that we are not pushing these people to change. We are not putting pressure on them enough. And we that are overseas have more leverage to be able to do that because we have time, we have resources. But people in Nigeria don't necessarily have that. If they have your phone number in Nigeria, they literally know everything about you. Because when you want to get a phone in Nigeria, you have your fingerprint, you have your address, you have everything. So you can see that people in Nigeria are not well placed to oppose them. But if you look at how Nnamdi Kanu changed the Southeast, Nnamdi Kanu, most of these things he did in the Southeast was done overseas. He did it from overseas by sending, sensitizing the people with his way of thinking. If we want to change the country, you can sensitize people, put pressure on the government, and they will start changing. You can make the wrong people do the right thing. That's the way I look at it. And I think that people should not take people that talk Nigeria down too seriously, but there is still that small percentage that are actually quite dangerous. That's how I leave it.
Yeah, to Niger, unfortunately, that's one thing I do not support agitators from outside. You see, when you have agitators from outside, these are very dangerous people because what they will do, they will advocate violence from outside. We have one in Sierra Leone called Adebayo. He have divided the country, and the country had political issues, since independence time, but the country have never been so divided, and basically when you have agitators like that, they're cowards. They will send innocent people to go and actually, basically die for their own cause. When these people have been wiped out, then eventually, when things have changed, they come in to actually enjoy, other people's bloodshed. Agitators from outside the country, I don't support them, and I think they're very dangerous. And I think it's someone like Nnamdi Kanu, they should put it to bed. I actually, a family member of mine in London used to be not far from him, and I have met people, personally, and basically, and their situation where I actually personally helped him out. My family member helped him out because it would have been worse if I wasn't there, and my cousins. But anyway, the reality is, agitators from outside of the country are very dangerous because what they do, they create instability, in a country that they're not living in. How can you support that? If you want to really fight for the country, you want to fight for your people, go in the country, go in there, show your face, bear the heat just like all the locals are bearing, and fight from there. Don't stand, don't stay in the white man country, because these people also can be agents.
Let me ask now, what is
Yes.
he agitating for? Is he agitating to change the country for the better?
Is well, well, I don't know, because the stuff that he was saying, it was very tribal. Maybe some of it, yes, some of it was very tribal, and well, very divisive also. And these are not the way forward to build a country. You cannot build a nation, by trying to divide it.
If it is tribal, then it's not good. If it's the moment
Yeah.
it's tribal, it's not good. If he was fighting for everyone, that is the good one. Like if you look at how the Bolsheviks changed Russia, many of them were in the diaspora too, and but they were looking to transform the entire country. And
But there's a guy called Simon. There's a guy called Simon something that's currently agitating the South. He's not in Nigeria. At least in Nnamdi Kanu, you can give him.
Oh no,
credit.
Simon is a troublemaker. Nnamdi Kanu too.
At least in Nnamdi Kanu, you can give him credit. He was brave enough to be in there. He got captured and brought back in. So you can give him a credit. He got the lion heart to stay there. Even though I don't like his ideology, I think it's totally wrong. But he was brave enough. But you have some agitators from outside that's inciting violence and sending people out there in the streets to get killed by our brutal authorities. Because these guys that have got the guns in Africa, they don't care about us civilians. They will
to be fair to those people, most of the agitators from outside, they were once inside, then they left because of the issues. Then they went outside to agitate. It's very hard to agitate from the outside if you've not really felt the heat from the inside. But that said, anyway, I think it's about finding ways to resolve the issues. For me, the downside of my realization, I don't know what I would call it, realization or my own opinion, is that to transform nations is not something that is you can just will. You need a catalytic event. Like the other countries, they had coups happen, and even those coups are not necessarily that transformational, because they are not.
No,
they are not the fire you need. We've not had it yet. And it's really a shame, because if we carry on like this, the rest of the world is speeding away from us.
Yes.
And yet we don't have the fire to propel us to where we need to be. So it's going to take somebody with a will of iron to do something to push the continent forward. And
this is the reason why. Sorry to Niger. This is the reason why I like the guy in Guinea. Because before him, the guy that he was actually protecting, President Alpha Conde, who was a very divisive character, he was trying to play similar games, because in Guinea, we always had military leaders since independence, part of, I think, Sekou Touré, right? But they never played tribal games. They never get involved. Sekou Touré was a bit controversial, I must admit. But like Lansana Conte was very diverse. He didn't play tribal game, because these military guys, they don't look at the tribe, they look at the regions, and look at things. It's totally different. That's exactly what this guy spotted from Alpha Conde. Dumbuya saw Alpha Conde as a tribal bigot, even though he's come from the same tribe, and he sees him as a puppet of the West, of the French and so on. He didn't like it, and he wanted to sit down and have a third term. That's why you need a real patriot in your country. Like this military guy, this official with the uniform, if they're a real true patriot, you can make a change. I disagree with military rule in a lot of ways, but sometimes it's true. These military guys are less tribalistic. They can get the job done quick, and also people are more likely to, to be less corrupt, because if they get caught, trust me, because what he did recently in Guinea, Dumbuya, he just announced emergency thingy. He shut the entire border, right? And he re-announced his new government. So if he was a minister in the government trying to run out of the country, you get caught, then obviously you're running away from something, right? So they're very smart. They do things totally different. And what he's doing now in Guinea is actually, doing it for the sake of the country. It might not be, the right way, or the way some people like it, but he's not inciting tribalism, he's not inciting division. The officers are all, collected from all different groups and tribes and religion, so that's what you need in a country. And I think also, like a country like Nigeria, you need that Senegal moment one day. No, I don't know about now, maybe in the near future. You need people of all region, all religion, all tribe to come together and say, right, we had enough. This is the guy that we think is going to change the country. This is the guy that we want in power, you know. But I think you should give the guy in power at the moment chance, because he only been elected not long ago. I'm going to sound controversial here. People might probably start abusing me in a minute. Yeah. So you can actually
I don't think we
give him
have
a
a
chance.
choice now. We don't have a
Yeah, give
choice
him a
other than
chance.
to give him a chance.
Let's see what he can do for you guys. You know, then if it doesn't work, then you can actually start strategize. You're very smart people. You know, you manage to build a very forward Pan African economy. You know, as Isaac was explaining earlier. So basically, you can actually make changes. You know, you can make changes possible. And also, one thing you have in Nigeria that we don't have in a lot of West African countries, I noticed online, is freedom of speech. Trust me, you cannot speak like the way you speak in Guinea, like the way you speak in Nigeria, bro. Trust me, you wouldn't have it. They wouldn't have it there.
The current government, their performance is about, the way I'm looking at it anyway. They have some things they seem to be pointing in the wrong direction, but there are quite a lot of things that concerns me a lot in the way they are moving. One, the currency. I think somebody stated it earlier on. If you have the currency fluctuating the way it is doing, and then the inflation rate so high, you can imagine buying a property this year, let's say for 50,000, and then the property price increase is about 10%, but inflation rate is about 20-30. Then you've just lost. And that is not a good business environment. You see what I mean? And that inflation rate is created by the same government. You wonder, what is the point? Why would you inflict such a thing on your nation? For what purpose? To what end? And this is the question I always keep asking. And I ask that question even if I know the answer. And people just keep beating their head side to side, thinking that they are going to get a different answer. No, you're not going to get a different answer. These guys know what they are doing. They are trying to, every time they try to make a progress, they sabotage it at the same time. They will solve one problem and create another problem.
Please, can I make just a 30-second suggestion, please? I have a lot of admiration.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, please. You know the economic policies the federal government is carrying out. I also studied economics also, Yeah, it's an economic policy that will free Nigeria, you understand, economically and financially, and liberalize the economy. That is just the fact. I did economics, you understand, at a higher level. So people are just looking at the present situation and condition, but it's not going to remain like that. The United States once combated the same dollar depreciation. Every country battles with it. You understand? When you are trying to reintroduce or reimagine your economy, there are some policies you put in place, and that is what you know that the Central Bank of Nigeria is equivalent to the Federal Reserve in the United States. You understand? So you should know better. You are one Nigeria I respect on social media space. Even sometimes I disagree with your positions on issues. But I regardless, I respect you a lot, to Nigeria, because you are visionary. You should know this. I know you know better than this. That this is just an economic policy that we, in a matter of months from now, it will stabilize. The dollar naira ratio rate will stabilize. You will see it in a matter of months from now, and then it will not attract foreign investors, because the foreign investors now know the actual worth of the naira, because petroleum products are no longer being subsidized, electricity prices are no longer being subsidized. You understand? You cannot take the proceeds from those subsidies and plow it into the larger economy. That is why you see that after so many years, and from Edo State, which is one of the 6 states that oil producing state that sustain that country, this is the first time in the history of Nigeria that they are giving us a meaningful project, which is the coastal highway. You understand? Which cuts across my state. After so many years, oil was discovered in Nigeria in the 50s, and Edo State has one of the highest gas reserve in the entire country, in Orion or local government in my state. You understand? So things are coming into place. You should just be patient. That's my problem. That's the problem I have with. I love my brother Festus. He's a brother.
Let me explain something about that economy. I think I'm not picking on this government for the sake of it. any economist will tell you that if you have an economy that is not as diversified as that of Nigeria, you don't float your currency. If you have an economy that relies a lot on import, you don't float your currency. That is 101 of this in currency foreign exchange this in policies. But yet you see this government go and do that. You ask yourself why. What purpose is it serving? Because you know what is happening now. To an extent, they're already pegging it again. So why move it in the first place when you are going to end up in the same position? Is it because you want your foreign partners to pull a lot of resources out of the country? Do you know the damage that is being done? The MTN has lost profit because of this currency issue. A lot of our big companies in Nigeria are losing profit. Guess where the money is going? People that have money now that know the direction of the currency can buy the naira when the naira is cheap. Then when the naira appreciates, they can pull their money out. And then the naira collapses again. And you've seen that in the last how many weeks and months. Because it's a dangerous game. How can your naira appreciate almost 50% in less than 1 month?
But to Niger, inflation is it not a global problem at the moment?
We are talking about currency, and the inflation is too high too. You see, if he had just left the currency where it was and just removed the subsidy, Nigeria would have been in a stronger place by now.
Right.
You see, so that's what I mean by they solve one problem and they create another one. Why? It's like the name of the game. It's like basically digging a hole and covering it, and you say you solved you've done work. That is not work. You're just creating more problems when there should be no problem at all. Because if you remove the subsidy, you take the money and use it to plow into other areas of the economy so that you have a little bit more flexibility to spend money. But then you go and move, you go and float the currency, then all that gain is lost. All that gain completely is lost.
Yeah.
So that is what we are dealing with.
True. I agree with that. And I mean, do you think he obviously needs a good team around him? You know what I mean? So you need to. I think he need to bring in, especially in the final, in the probably need a new governor. He need a new bank governor.
I think
also you need a new finance team. I think
they are doing exactly what they want to do. You know, the people that are happy with them, the World Bank and the IMF, they're happy about it. And if you want to float your currency, do you know one of the key things you can do? You can discourage the use of foreign currency, because the reason why your currency value is depreciating because there's a great demand for it. So you want to reduce demand by just do you know Nigerians use a lot of dollars? You can tell Nigerians just to stop doing that. If 5% reduce their usage of dollars, your currency at least does not depreciate as much. Then you start putting tariff on useless imports that we import.
And
like
also
we import,
to Niger,
yeah.
And also to Niger, how much money Nigeria government is spending on security? That's crazy.
Pardon?
They should. I don't know how much money are they spending on security. That's crazy.
Well, it's about $4 billion dollars now. No, the imports that we import that is not doing us any good. Like sometimes we import plastic that we can manufacture in Nigeria. Things that we can manufacture in Nigeria, we're importing them. So why is he not? Did he not say, you know what? Before I start floating my currency, let me put tariff on these things. Biden just announced tariff on steel from China how many days ago? But Nigerian government will never do that. They sit there and pretend as if they don't know their own what they need to do, and then you go and float the currency.
Well, hold on. Well, Nigerian first. Let me pass it to Delroy first, and I'll pass it to you, Nigerian first. Go ahead, Delroy.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Yes, sir.
So actually, my question is for Tunisia. Tunisia, the government put an application to join BRICS. If they let them in this year, what type of impact you think that will make on Nigeria economy?
I hope they don't take BRICS down with them, but still, I think that's my first worry. But point is that it might help them straighten their acts a little bit. Because I think when they join the BRICS, there's a little bit of freedom that comes with that. Because I think what is happening to our leaders is that it's not because they don't know what they are doing, but they are constrained by the forces that are acting on them. So if they have access to the BRICS, it's going to give them a little bit of freedom, and you probably see you start seeing better decision making happening within the Nigerian space.
Okay, so
Can I
good.
answer?
I'm glad you said that because I'm in agreement that if they get to join BRICS, they'll have more. They'll be more brave to start reducing the use of the
The
US
dollar.
dollar. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think if they join BRICS, that would happen. Yeah, that was my
Can
question.
I quickly answer that, Delway?
Good.
Also,
Good.
okay, so I think to actually get into BRICS, the BRICS nation would also look at what you bring to the table. So what does Nigeria bring to the table? They know Nigeria is obviously not where it is to be. Nigeria is probably under the yoke of World Bank, IMF, and the West. So they are not ready to let Nigeria in until Nigeria actually gets its house in order. Back in 2019, there was a time the Chinese president told Buhari, Nigerians buy a lot from China. So instead of using dollar to trade, let them start using Naira and the Yuan RMD. And guess who shut it down? The US did. So
Wow.
this is basically
Wow.
saying if you want to buy from China, you use Naira, you use Yuan. But then the US shut it down. Let me also say something about how the West is still in control of Nigeria. If you read Goodluck Jonathan's book, For the Love of the Country, when Boko Haram came around, he was running for re-election. Goodluck Jonathan hired mercenaries to fight Boko Haram in the northeast, Maiduguri. In his book, he said Barack Obama shut it down because they didn't want him to win the re-election. They wanted the Fulani guy, Muhammadu Buhari, to win. Let me now rewind back to the 1980s, 1990s with MK Abiola. I'm a Yoruba man, and I think he's a great guy. He won an election that was annulled by Babangida. But something we don't know and we refuse to believe is Abiola was actually a stooge of the CIA. It was a CIA asset. So there is this company called ITT that the CIA funnels money. He's the head of this company, Abiola, right? So they used that money to fund coup. Shehu Shagari was deposed because they wanted SAP, Structural Adjustment Program, to be in effect. Abiola funded that coup. But Buhari comes in, military dictator with Idi Amin. They thought structural adjustment programs by the World Bank, IMF, would destroy Nigeria's economy. So they didn't want SAP at all. But they created a system where the deputy head of the country, Diabon, was sent to Mecca on Hajj. Buhari was more like a figurehead. This was Abiola's doing. So they deposed Buhari and Diabon. And that brings in Babangida. But Babangida knows who Abiola is. They all in the system together. So he wasn't going to let him because Abacha has always been with Abiola for so long that Abacha would still take power if Abiola wins the presidency or whatnot. So I'm just coming to clarify how, I guess we all think Abiola is a great guy.
Let him finish.
Okay.
Let him finish.
Can I speak now?
Yeah, but let him finish first because it's interesting.
Are you done? If not, Nigerian first. Go ahead.
Mr.
Yes, sir.
Duroy.
Just for information, the currency swap deal is still active. It's not been cancelled
No,
yet.
that, please let me
Okay.
see. Mr. Duroy, did you notice that they quickly find a way to blame the white man? It's always the white man that caused the problem, not Nigerians, private sector who mess up the economy, who play games with the currency. They will go to central bank and take out whatever exchange in terms of millions of dollars. Then they go back to the black market, sell the money there and make profit and do the same thing, round tripping. And this behavior, they don't reflect in the local economy. They meet the central bank. I needed $20 million to purchase an equipment in China for production of this thing. CBN approved. And they take that money, go back to this black market, sell it there, then do some. They keep on repeating it like that, and they destroy the economy. No, it's Mr. Biden in Washington that destroyed the economy, not Nigerians. See, let's hold ourselves accountable for the destruction of the economy, not the US, not the European. No, it's Nigerians that did it. Our irresponsible behavior caused the downfall of the of the country.
Can you move away? Can you move away
No.
from your fan a bit? Your fan is not letting us hear you fully.
Okay, even the last this administration, they campaign on two things. They said they will remove subsidy, they will devalue the currency. That was their campaign mantra. So no one would come here and say they didn't know about this, that it's going to happen. The president campaigned with this information, except many people were sleeping, they didn't hear when he was campaigning. He said he's going to remove subsidy and let the naira flow. That was the campaign. I don't understand what we are trying to say here, that that was a wrong. No, it was not a wrong decision. It was the right thing to do, because Nigeria was already owing JP Morgan almost $20-something billion that was taken out as a loan. Where do you want Nigeria to get that money to clear those debts? So they have to do what is necessary to save the entire economy. If not,
how does that give Nigeria money?
You said?
How does floating the currency allow payment of debt?
There is no need to defend the naira. Allow the naira to find its rightful place instead of defending, taking out money to defend.
Okay, can you tell me what defending means?
See, okay, fine. The naira through exchange rate is about 1,000 something. What the Nigerian government was doing back then, they make it 500. So you use exchange for 500, they will pay the other 500. They will use another 500 to defend your. You get me? Instead
no,
of
they are not. They are not. They are not doing anything.
That's what they were doing. No, that was what we were doing.
They were not using 500 to defend anything. You just made that one up.
Not first of
no. See, the right amount, the right value in the market was 1,000 something. We were paying 500 naira to $1 instead of. Yes.
One Nigeria, please. Sorry, I agree with you completely, 100% or 101%. I agree with you. I'm wondering why Nigeria does not know that the naira was being subsidized, like the way they were subsidizing the fuel. I'm just surprised.
No, it was not being subsidized. I think you are mistaken. Let me
explain. It was.
Don't worry. When you finish talking, I will explain what is truly happening.
You know why I'm surprised? I won't be surprised if some other Nigerians were talking like this, but I have listened to you over the years and I know what you are capable of. So the naira, just like the fuel, the price of fuel went up recently, and every other aspect of the economy that the Nigerian government was subsidizing, before Tinubu came in. I'm telling you that what Tinubu is trying to do is something that will mean well for Nigeria in the long run. You people should just be patient. You understand? Now the naira was being subsidized before by Nigeria subsidizing everything that the naira was purchasing. Everything that Naira was purchasing, the Nigerian government was subsidizing it. In other words, making the Naira to look credible, where it was not really credible. You understand? Because we are not a producing economy, we are more of a consuming economy. You understand?
Okay.
We have.
Can I explain from my point?
Let me just finish.
Okay.
Sorry, bros. Sorry. We have a importation deficit in Nigeria. We export more than we import more than we export. And just to conclude, probably this is the last thing I will say. On the issue of BRICS, I will align more with the United States, because I'm more aligned with the United States than with Russia and China. You understand? It will be the worst day of my life if I'm still alive, if Nigeria joins with BRICS, if I'm still alive. You understand? If Nigeria joins with BRICS, because that will take Nigeria further down the line, not upper the line. You understand? Because those BRICS nations, they have nothing to offer Nigeria. The single most important country in the world today still remains the United States, and our democracy is patterned after the United States, whether you like it or whether ignorant Nigerians know it or not. Our democracy and our style of governance, and even as a people, we are patterned after the United States, not even after Britain that colonized Nigeria. I don't know why Nigerians are so dumb. Maybe it's because our educational system is so poor. That's why some Nigerians are so dumb. We cannot succeed with China and Russia. They don't have any. Russia's economy is not even better than that of Nigeria. Nigeria should align with the United States. It will even help Nigeria more, because over 60% of African Americans have Nigeria ancestral DNA. Over 60% of African Americans have Nigeria ancestral DNA. Why would you not want to be an enemy of a country that has over 60% of your people? Does that even make sense?
Okay.
Festus, I'm afraid,
I think we strayed
Festus, I
far
agree
away
with
from
you.
the point.
I agree with to Niger. This is one of my biggest problems with people.
Sorry, I was supposed to respond to his
okay,
point
sorry,
about
go
the currency. See, about defending the naira, I think we really went far away from there. Regarding defending the naira, the whole point of the naira's value in the black market, why is it more expensive? One, there is partly speculation going on, and there is also more demand for the naira. Let's not make a mistake. Demand is the reason why currencies increase, and governments can control demand. They have the ability to say, you know what, we don't want to be importing things we don't need. Stop asking for this thing. Stop going overseas for this in health tourism, or paying so much school fees overseas that requires dollars. You can reduce that. So to say that the Nigerian government is defending the naira is because they are choosing not to reduce the demand for dollars. And so you have to know that if you can't have a home where you have $100 in your safe, and you have 1,000 naira, then you tell your children, okay, I'm going to put you in a school that require $1,000. You're going to have to go and get more dollars, and the person that has the dollars will want to charge you more, and you, because you need it, you have to buy it.
Yes, but
that's the problem.
Yes. Just a quick response to Isaac, my brother. I mean, the Russian economy currently since the Ukraine war, they actually been doing way better.
You didn't let me finish, Al. You didn't let me finish.
Sorry to Niger. I apologize.
So the point I'm making is that this in currency issue, when you say they are defending the naira, they are not defending the naira. They get they are exchanging at the right this, and they pegged it. So what they did that was corrupt, they allowed the speculation to go on. What did this current government do? Instead of the bureau de change people to be speculating, they told them to cap their income. So in other words, instead of them to peg it at the CBN, they pegged it at the end of the bureau de change people. So, and when Tinubu was talking about floating the currency, what people had in their mind, including myself, was that they are going to unite the official rate and the black market rate, not make the current rate more expensive than both. You see what has just happened? Is what they've done now is not unite the two, where you have the black market rate more expensive and the official rate less expensive, then they meet somewhere in the middle. But now it's more expensive than both of them. So what kind of economy is that? That is not uniting both currencies, and that's the impression they gave us during the campaigns. But I said, we know governments can reduce demand. If they didn't reduce demand, there's a reason why they didn't reduce demand. Don't say they are defending the naira, because this current government, they are also paying debts. Paying debt doesn't increase the value of the currency. Borrowing money doesn't depreciate the value of your currency. Otherwise, America's currency will be rubbish right now, given how much debt they owe. So I think it's other people that actually use voodoo economics here. The economy is not that complicated. It's common sense. Thank you.
Okay, so where I agree with Isaac, in a way, basically, I cannot agree or disagree. Basically, in Africa in general, we shouldn't be siding to one country, Russia or the West, and so on. The reality is, these countries, they have a terrible human rights record. They could actually, this great country, they're full of dictators and stuff like that. We can't rely on these people for long-term partnership. We actually clamoring for Russia in the Sahel. I'll give you a good example. Mali been paying Russia with gold. They've been paying Wagner with gold since all this war started. Burkina, the Russians said, we're going to bring all this military to help you fight jihadists. And since this jihadist war in Burkina, it's not like the government is gaining any grounds in Burkina. They're losing grounds in the Sahel. when the Russians turn up with all the military might in Burkina Faso, they only turn up to protect their gold mine in Burkina Faso, not the Burkina Bay people. So we got to be careful of these people. And also the West, we know, there's shackload called IMF that they've been using against our leaders. This is one of this is the devil in the details here. And the reality is, we cannot, rely on one part of the world as a total ally. We need to use them just like they're using us. We have to be strategic. If you're just going to sideline with the West, and when things go wrong with the West, you're not going to go to the East. If you sideline with the East, when things goes wrong, you can't go to the West because you already know your game. You need to play them both. You need to play your game right. That's all I got to say. We can't rely on one of them.
That's actually correct. It's not about against the West. You are correct there. It's not about being because after all, Japan is doing fine, South Korea is doing fine, and Taiwan is doing fine. So not all enemies, friends of the West, are doing badly. So it's just that we, to an extent, this is where the Nigerian first seems to be more correct. We don't know how to have relationships that benefit us. That is our problem. So the Japanese know how to do it. The South Koreans know how to do it. So but we shouldn't hedge our wagon with the West, because if they feel like they are the only game in town, then they will do as they like with us. So we have to have our options open. We can't gamble the future of our people just on the whims of the West. If they decide that they don't want to work with us, then we have to look for other partners that are willing to give us what we need, because our people deserve better.
Yes. I mean, for Nigeria, until Nigerians start choosing their leaders based on competence, not based on tribe, region, religion, and stuff like that, I cannot see any changes in the near future. Maybe one day with the younger generation, because I do tap in online. I can hear the younger speaking. They got different mindset to the older generation. I think they will move that to a different angle where people will be actually choosing their leaders based on competence, not based on their region, religion, or tribe. And I think that will happen one day. It's happening in local countries.
Al, can I ask you something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we spoke about this yesterday a little bit. I said with Russia, you need a strategic partner, and Russia is a strategic partner at this point right now.
Yeah.
Right? So we need Russia to be a strategic partner. And that's the way those three brothers are doing. And whether we like it or not, whether whoever don't like it, tough. They are sticking to it. That's their plan. And they're sticking to it. Now, as far as BRICS, I'm gonna just say a Jamaican saying, right?
Yeah.
We shall see what we shall see, what we shall see. It's just a matter of time. All right.
Yes.
But we'll see which one is going to work. We'll see if the dollar is going to stay as the main currency, or we'll see if it's going to collapse. All right. So according to the numerous American economists, right? And for those people that worship white people, white American economists, whole loads of them, right, are saying the dollar is going to crash. This is the American economists. They have no confidence in it. These are the people that take their money and buy other currencies around the world. They're doing it. Americans are doing it by the tens of the thousand. That's just, those are the facts, right? So don't join BRICS in your own peril. And like I said, we shall see. We shall see what we should see. Right? It's just a matter of time.
All right, go. Are you finished, Delroy?
Yeah.
All right, let me pass the my bye. Then I'm gonna pass the Abzad, and we'll close out. My bye. Go ahead.
And Donis, I got to call you later on. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Hello.
Go ahead, my bye.
Okay, I just wanted to respond. I don't know if it was to Niger who said this, but I heard someone saying that that Black American lineage, or people are mainly from Nigeria. And the way I don't know if it was you two, Niger, it might have been someone else, but I got concerns because you said it like you were concerned, like there is some type of future for Black America in Nigeria. And so we have these discussions all the time. And it's like, at this point, Nigeria it's always a lot of tribal wars, it seems like. And look who's the headmaster that seems like they're in control. So how are you as a nation can even think about joining BRICS? And how is there ever a future for Black America in Nigeria? That's my question.
I said it. Please let me interject. I said it. Okay. I said it. Please let me interject. Just give me maybe a minute or two to respond to this sister. You see, we in Nigeria, yeah, you may not know this because most of you run with the false narrative of the mainstream media in the United States. You may not know this, but Nigeria is the most Pan-African country on earth. I'm saying this as a Nigerian because I know how much I love my Black American nieces and nephews. I know how much I love them in diaspora, So Nigerians, the majority of Black Americans or African Americans, as it were, in the United States, over 60% of them trace their ancestral lineage and heritage to Nigeria. That is a fact. It's not a myth. Now, how can Nigeria? I pray it doesn't happen in my lifetime because it will be a devastating thing for me when the day Nigeria will align with Russia or China. It will be a devastating. I'm not like two Nigeria. We have two different philosophy. I'm not like two Nigeria. We are two different. We may be the same Nigerian, but we have different philosophy. I'm a pro-American person. America has not really done the right thing when it comes to Africa, but I will forever be a pro-American person than to be a pro-Russia or a pro-Chinese person. Forever until I will bring my last breath. I'm an American.
Even when it doesn't make sense.
I don't see when America doesn't make sense to Africa. You should rather blame your leader. Is it Biden or Joe Bush that said Tinubu should embezzle money and go and put it in a Paris club account?
No, you don't know. You don't know that
Let me finish. You can respond, please. I'm not making sense now.
I just want to do to and fro.
Please let me just finish, please.
No, but let him respond tonight, man.
Let him respond, and I got to pass to Abzed because we have to close out soon. Go ahead.
Yeah, please. How can Nigeria not be an enemy nation, a BRIC nation, to America that accommodates over 60% of its people? It doesn't make sense. Most Nigerians don't have sense. They do before they think. That's why Nigeria is like that. And it's full of people like this two Nigeria and that Mr. Festus that are talking.
I don't know why you guys are free to talk, but if I talk, they say, "Oh, you wait, don't say anything."
But
you guys, these are the kind of people we like to listen to. Diners.
So we can move on. Go ahead, Isaac. We'll pass the Abzed. Are you done? Are you done, Isaac?
Let Nigeria respond.
I just want Nigeria to align with the United States. Nigeria will lose more.
Diners like to listen to these other people. Go ahead, listen to them.
Nigeria will lose more. Nigeria will lose more among all those BRIC countries if they align with BRIC. Nigeria start to gain more if Nigeria align with the United States forever. Finish. I don't see anything America has done to. America did not colonize Nigeria. America has not bombed Nigeria once. I don't know what America has done to Nigeria that Nigerians are just singing about because they are running with Russia and Chinese narrative on social media. I love America. And most of my people, Black Americans, are living in America. I want Nigeria to have a forever relationship, great relationship with the United States of America. That is when we can build this relationship. That is when Africa can benefit from this relationship. I don't want us to have an adversarial relationship with the United States forever. That's my position. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Abzed, and we'll close out.
Hello, gentlemen. Can you hear me?
You're kind of low, but go ahead.
Right. What I've noticed...
Abzed, you're fighting your phone. Stop fighting your phone. Stop fighting your phone. Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What I've noticed is that the differences in Nigeria, they are bolding it, highlighting it too much. Because let me tell you, I have studied the politics of other countries. They have differences. Let's say, for example, Germany. They have different Germans. All Germans are not the same. So why are you Nigerians bothering? Why? There's no need. They have differences in many countries, but they still live and work together. That's what you guys have to do.
I just
I
want
100% agree. I
to
100%
that.
agree.
Okay.
I disagree too, to a certain extent, when you mentioned Germany, because
Yes.
there is a sector where Germans really kicked out the German so-called German Jews. They were kicked out of Germany. Did you know that? Because they destroyed Germany economy.
They're
I don't
still
know if
there.
you know that history.
Yeah, we do know. Yes, they're still
Okay,
there.
so they were kicked out for a reason. And now that, I don't know how much, I don't want to say too much, but let's say the religious people, because I don't want your channel get striked, the religious Germans had spread their ideology throughout other nations.
Can I just say one thing? When I live in England, we have the English, the Welsh, the Scottish. They hate each other. They don't like each other, but they always find a way to live with one another in peace. If you're an African or a black person come here and you go against them, you will see how united they will be against you and kick your ass out. I don't know if we can end it on that note.
Well, when it comes to you guys, they will unite to kick your ass out and destroy you.
I wanted to say that for
yes,
those.
why can't we do that as black people?
Okay, let Abzad, go ahead and close us out, Abzad.
This is what I want to say. Those who live in the United Kingdom, maybe they notice that there are different types of English peoples or UK peoples. The whites, they are not the same. Walesmen and nation, you guys who live there, you know it better. Get me? So Nigerians, they don't have to bold their differences. Just live, and what you have to do is try to make money. That's what life is. Not fight. With fight, you don't reach nothing. Look at all those who fight in history, Mussolini, Hitler. What if they reach nothing? You have to live and make money. That's why you are living. All Nigerians have to do that.
Yes, sir.
We will have prosperity.
Okay. Yep. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Peace.
Thank you.
See you next time.